turn. Oh no, not me, can't be the fool. I make the rules, yeah, I bend the rules. But when the heat's turned up, I break and shake. Guess I love to serve it, but I hate the taste. I love dishing it out, but I can't take it, yeah. Throw the punches, but don't wanna face it. Nah, get the heat, but don't wanna bake in it. I love dishing it out, but I can't take it. In your place, laugh when you stumble, smirk in your face. But flip the script, turn the tables loud. Suddenly I'm nowhere to be found. Oh no, not me, can't be the fool. I make the rules, yeah, I bend the rules. But when the shade comes back my way, I run for cover, I'll run away. I love dishing it out, but I can't take it, yeah. Throw the punches, but don't wanna face it. Nah, get the heat, but don't wanna bake in it. I love dishing it out, but I can't take it. Oh, I'll call you out, put you in your place. Laugh when you stumble, smirk in your face. But flip the script, turn the tables round. Suddenly I'm nowhere to be found. Oh no, not me, can't be the fool. I make the rules, yeah, I bend the rules. But when the shade comes back my way, I run for cover, I run away. I love dishing it out, but I can't take it, yeah. Throw the punches, but don't wanna face it. Nah, get the heat, but don't wanna bake in it. I love dishing it out, but I can't take it. Ooh, what's that? You got something to say? Nah, 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 I don't play that way. I'm the one who jokes, I'm the one who roasts. But flip the mirror and I'm just a ghost. But oh, guess that's just how it is. Yeah.
You turn it in, what a big surprise. Acting like the world ain't playing nice. Throwing a fit when you don't get your way. Like a broken record, same shit, new day. You love to talk, but can't take the heat. Crumble like dust when you're faced with defeat. Life ain't fair, we'll join the club. Time to grow up, stop playing the scrub. Suck it up, face. Ain't got time for your sad little case. You dish it out, now taste the pain. Crown me a river, drown in the rain. Suck it up, face. Life ain't fair, better pick up the pace. You talk so big, but float so small. No one's got time for your pity at all. You flex online, but you're weak in the flesh. Talk a big game, then run when it's stress. Throwing shade, but you break like glass. Step up, own up, grow up fast. No one owes you a damn free ride. Stand up straight, swallow your pride. The world ain't waiting for you to whine. So take your lumps and fall in line. Suck it up, face. Ain't got time for your sad little case. You dish it out, now taste the pain. Crown me a river, drown in the rain. Suck it up, face. Life ain't fair, better pick up the pace. Tough love's coming, ready or not. So shut your mouth and take your shot. Ooh, what's that? You feeling sore? Didn't like the game, don't play no more. If you wanna swing, then take a hit. But don't start crying when it don't fit. Suck it up, face. No one's here for your sad disgrace. You want the power, take the fall. Or sit back down, don't talk at all. Is it tough? Ain't life rough? Suck it up. Yeah, that's enough.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's approximately 9:55 on Tuesday, the 4th of February, 2025. Hope everyone's well. I myself am awaiting with anticipation. Honestly, I do come across some complete and utter bullshit being spoken about on YouTube. You know, some of the fucking, sorry for swearing, some of the narratives that being sold and brought by a gullible audience is quite astounding, really. I know Mark Zuckerberg has got rid of the fact checks, but I'll tell you something now, and I'll tell you it without a fee, especially when it comes to our crazy corner of YouTube. There needs to be some level of fact checking and putting things in context as well, because so much is taken out of context. It's mind-blowing, really, because obviously, you know, and I'm sure you would agree with me, we're in an element of them and us, aren't we? There's two camps. Well, there's more than two camps, if you know what I mean. I can't say too much because there's court orders preventing me from really kind of like telling you how I see it. But there's two camps, and one camp just loves painting the other camp as the most despicable human beings to ever have walked the earth, and the other, same vice versa. Hello, Katie. Good morning to you, Matt. Good morning to you, Katie. 1st of February. Well, that's not the first, but it's the beginning of February, isn't it? We know what happens at the beginning of February. I may not be able to see my gorgeous, magical, imaginary girlfriend for Valentine's. Yeah, we spoke about it yesterday. We may be both too busy. Can you believe it? Too busy for Valentine's. That's shocking. That's a shocker. But so I'm just waiting with anticipation. I'm looking forward to going on Based Luke UK's panel. So tune in when Based Luke UK next goes live. I'm hoping to jump on in there, and quite frankly, I won't mince my words, to put the audience right. You know, because you got these renegades, for want of a better word. You got these renegades running around YouTube selling a narrative out of context, and more often than not, selling a narrative that is complete and utter bullshit. That is just based upon lie upon lie upon lie. And we've got a gullible audience that just nod their head and go, yeah. So Katie doesn't celebrate Valentine's. I know, it's a funny one, isn't it, Valentine's? I mean, the only reason I celebrate it is because the magical imaginary girlfriend makes such a big deal about it, you know? She's always gets me a lovely card. Always, well, she goes OTT, to be fair. She goes OTT on Valentine's. And what are you supposed to do when you got a magical imaginary girlfriend who goes OTT on Valentine's? You got to go OTT yourself, haven't you? But you know, it's nice. It's I've always enjoyed getting Valentine's. Okay, I've had to. That was a joke, by the way. I had to send a few to myself just to. No, I've never sent one to myself. But I know people who have, though, and they're girls. Luke has Helen in his ear. Helen has made some serious claims. I know, and it's you know, it's just way out of order. And it's just like mind-blowing, really, that this complete and utter bull gets spread about all over the place with no challenge. And that's what I hope to do when I go on to Luke's channel next. It's to challenge their complete and utter bullshit coming from the likes of Helen. Because that ain't clever. It isn't acceptable. And it isn't true. And so for them 3 reasons alone, it's got to be challenged. And we have got, I believe there's an audience of people who just listen. They neither believe it or disbelieve it. They just listen. And that's the majority. I've always believed in a silent majority. And that's exactly the audience I want to get through to. They don't have to say anything, but they need to hear the challenge to the complete and utter bullshit that's coming out. Because like I said, it's not clever. It's complete and utter lies. And it doesn't help anyone get a clear indication of what's really going on out there. So I'm waiting with anticipation. I've got some things to get on with today, to be fair. But I thought I'd come on. Oh yeah, so that's good. A certain individual, code name Weasel, he put shitloads of copyright strikes in. They've all gone now. So what a waste of time that is, you know, crikey. So he wastes his time putting in the, I mean, it may be quick, you know, it may be quick at his end, but I know having to put the counter notifications in at my end, you know, it's bothersome, it's tiresome, and it does take my time up because my time is valuable. But luckily, I've now got no strikes against my premiere, my leading YouTube channel. What's it called again? Oh, I don't freaking know. Taylor from Brighton. Taylor's. Anyway. Oh, yeah, there it is. You got it in front of you. He's getting a visit very soon. Oh, right. There's some news. I know there's a lot of people who have reached the end of their tether with that particular individual, codename Weasel. You know, again, it goes back to spreading lies. Now, look, I put my hand up, okay? And no doubt that subject will come up with Luke. But to be fair, I would do it again. I would do it again. Because I can't stand certain individuals out there. Certain individuals who I think have got away with it. But that aside, you can't go around pushing a false narrative. Oh, I put my hand up. I did it. I have. Yes. Yes. I've gone out and I pushed well, I never pushed it. I put it out there and then I had to defend it. Not a good move. But it's something I did. And I've had to deal with the consequences. As we all have to deal with consequences of our own words and deeds and actions. And it's only right and proper that the Weasel has to deal with the consequences of his actions. And that can be a positive thing as well. Dealing with the consequences of your words, deeds, and actions is a positive thing. because it's a lesson in life. We all get wrapped up in the moment. We all get unduly influenced. We all get wrapped up in the drama. I certainly have. We all believe we're doing the right thing. And so don't think it as a negative. Having been held to account, dealing with the consequences of our words, deeds, and actions is a good thing, because it can bring clarity and it's a lesson learned. And a big lesson for everyone is you can't just band about complete and utter lies and falsities with the intention to harm. My particular take on that Andrew Lashbrook is I can't stand Andrew Lashbrook. I think he's a horrible, nasty toe rag. And I'll be happy to put my boot in to Andrew Lashbrook. As far as I know, he's a convicted sex offender. Comes from Devon. I think there's an article out there, found guilty of sexual assault against 2 female teenagers. Nasty piece of work. You know, so I've got no love lost for despicable paedophile predators such as Andrew Lashbrook. So there are certain individuals who even I put my hand up and say, no, I cannot stand them. And I'll do anything within the boundaries of law to put my foot in, because I'm just as human as the next man. Like, you won't catch me putting around false lies with the intent to, you know, harm people when I know it's a lie. And of course, I'm sure a lot of people in the audience are going, that's a bit hypocritical. Hey, listen, in my defense, in the same as yours, it's the same defense you lot give out, is that there's a lot of stuff that gets put out into the public domain that we repeat. And that's the only thing I'm guilty of. A1000 says, awaiting Arthur Spaff, Helen's and, yeah, Velvet's Mutt's evidence. I know. Because the latest we saw, wasn't it, of Helen backing up the claim of Velvet's Mutts, who claims to have heard it from Arthur Spaff. And apparently, a certain Helen claims that she heard Katie, discussing it with me and Justin. So there's a lot of complete and utter bullshit going on out there that needs to be challenged. And one of the things I'd like to ask Helen is, what's all this about the parents of those teenagers in the Brighton incident making a complaint? How on earth does Helen know that? That just stinks of complete and utter bullshit. You know what I mean? And the way they sell it is as if Justin and I were walking around Sussex, Brighton Beach, asking children, "Oh, hello, little children, can you take your clothes off and get naked?" That's how they sell it. But the truth is, those boys were jumping off the groin to impress their girlfriends who are watching from the shoreline. And the joke was, if you really want to impress your girlfriends, if you really want to impress the audience, you should jump off naked. It's a joke. And they took it as a joke. But of course, the other side will naturally and automatically change the context to turn it into something different. I understand that. And you can crack on. And you can do that as much as you want. But you will be aware that I'll be in the wings going, oh, hang on, hang on. I challenge that. The context wasn't what you are selling it to be. Katie says, I know my life and what I said. Exactly. And so the first thing I think when I hear Helen comes along and says, I heard Katie say this to Justin and Matt, it's like, well, and echoing what Katie says, I know my life and I know what was said. And Katie has certainly said nothing like that to me or Justin. Well, Helen claims she slept with a member of her family. I mean, listen. What I know, or what I've come to appreciate and realize from my time on YouTube, is that the people who shout the most are the ones who have got the most to hide. And there's an element of projecting in there. And I think that's how they reconcile their own degeneracy in themselves, by blocking it out, by calling everybody else the degenerate. I mean, ultimately, you got the likes of Velvet Smut, a convicted arsonist, Helen herself, conviction for theft. We've got all these people with convictions of their own going around pointing the finger at everybody else. Empty wagons, says Katie. So anyway, listen, I'm just waiting with anticipation. I've got things to do. So I'll wrap it up. I haven't got much to say, except I'm looking forward to going on to Luke's panel. Dave Courtney is on video saying he would rather be a rapist than a grass. What is that all about? When you hear stuff like that, where's the respect for women? To grape, right, is to violate someone's body and life. It's just crazy. And we all know who best mate Dave Courtney's was. A certain Helen was, very pally with Dave Courtney. But listen, there's connections can be made everywhere, all over the place. It goes back to that biblical, he who without sin, cast the first stone. I may have paraphrased it a bit. But what I'd like to see is a state on YouTube is where people just don't come on and make outlandish allegations about other people. Where people just don't jump on panels and say complete and utter lies, when it's ever so easy for other people to come on and say that about you. And that's inevitably what happens. That's pretty much what's happening now with me, isn't it? Helen's gone on saying some pretty diabolical bullshit and spreading lies. And then that's got my back up. And now I'm doing the same. I'm coming on and saying, hey, listen, this needs to be fact checked. Lies get promoted for content. Yes. So true. Lies get promoted for content. But I personally think the truth is a lot more exciting. The truth is just as valuable as any lie out there. We don't need to lie, you know. The truth is just as sexy. But what can you do? These people are just like, I mean, take the mouse, for example, Trouser Mouse. Talk about obsession. I mean, in their database, they must have conversations from years ago. YouTube threads from absolutely yonks ago about complete and utter bullshit that are being recycled week after week after week. Katie says she is a pathological liar. You know, I think you're hitting the nail on the head there. So it's a mental illness, isn't it? I'm always of that mindset. This is mental illness territory we're treading upon. And that's why it's so hard to get your heads around, because we're dealing with mental illness. Nixie is doing an expose on Helen James on Thursday night. I'll be tuning in. I will be tuning in. Because, of course, Nixie describes Helen as an odious, vile troll. And I actually agree with that. I think that's a good description of Helen. Only because I've been at the receiving end of it. And let's get one thing cleared up about Sussex Police. I did get called on a Saturday night. I was actually at my magical and imaginary girlfriend's house. And I was laying the table on a Saturday, 6 o'clock, laying the table for dinner. And I get a call from a private number from Sussex Police saying, stop saying Helen's name. I said, what? Stop saying Helen's name. I said, well, yeah, I'll stop saying Helen's name if she stops saying mine. Yeah, okay. Put the phone down. The next week, Helen was taking great delight, telling everyone that Matt Taylor's not allowed to say my name. So I got back to Sussex Police. I said, oh, excuse me, what the hell is going on here? And so Sussex Police said to me, well, send us your evidence that she's mentioning you. So I sent them 12 pieces of evidence on their secure server. They sent me an email with a link. I had to upload pieces of evidence to their server. I uploaded 12 occasions where, after the phone call that Helen James was mentioning me, lambasting me, I uploaded 12 occasions. I didn't hear anything from them again. And then when I did ask about what was happening, they said, well, because we didn't take any details from Helen, we had no way to get back to her. We had no way to get back to her. Honestly. I mean, it reminds me of a couple of years back, I was watching the Alan Tate Ammanford Tunnel YouTube videos. But I don't know whether everyone in the audience is familiar with that. The Alan Tate Ammanford tunnels in South Wales, where he claimed he heard children screaming from underground in tunnels. So I was listening to those tapes that are on YouTube on my show. And then I had 2 police officers come up, knock on my door the following day saying, we've had a report that you've been listening to children torture videos. And that was a report made by either Helen James or Shelley Moat, or both of them working in conjunction with each other. One of our officer mates loves mind games, even called her horse it for laughs, of course. Hey, listen, I'm looking forward to tuning in on Thursday night with Nixie. You know, we can get on. We can all get on and put all this complete and utter bullshit behind us if we all stop jumping on panels and spreading lies about each other. You know, that's a good first step in calming the whole situation down. Because I was listening to Bass Luke UK's, and there was a certain Baz or Daz. He got very animated, very defensive, being called a pedo by Jake. You could hear the passion in his defense. He didn't like being called a pedo at all, did he? No. No one does. And we know that time where a certain, lady who lives on a longboat in Arundel, do you remember her reaction when Brian Hell accused her of being a pedo? No one likes being called a pedo when you're not a paedophile. But yet, that seems to be the staple diet on YouTube. That's the go-to insult. And Helen James coming on, taking a bash at Kaylee and Jake, saying, explain yourself why you protect 10 known paedophiles. The only time you're a known paedophile is when you've got a conviction. When you got a conviction like Andrew Lashbrook, who was convicted of sexually assaulting 2 teenage girls, then you can call Andrew Lashbrook a paedophile because he's got a conviction for it. That's the system we live in. That's the world we live in. That there's standards of evidence, not just conjecture and bullshit put around on YouTube by a bunch of fucking imbeciles, quite frankly. So I am looking forward to going on Luke's and challenging what's been said. Look how Dave C reacted after being called a grass. Well, yes. Yeah. Are you implying he killed himself because of that? Oh, no. Well, or not. But I don't really know much about Dave Courtney, to be fair. But like Katie has just mentioned already in the chat, he'd rather be a grapist than a grass. When all these people are grasses. They can't handle some pushback, so they go and grass the headmaster, don't they? What's the only weapon Weasel has got? What's the only defense Weasel has got for his conduct? When people call him out, when people call his conduct out, what is his only defense? Go run into headmaster. That's all he's got. Sabotage. What's most of these people got when they get called out for their conduct? Go run into headmaster. Complain to Sussex Police. Oh, Sussex Police. Matt Taylor's at it again. He's defending himself, and I don't like it. I should be allowed to go out and say what I want about Matt Taylor, even if it's a bunch of bullshit. I should be allowed to do so without any comebacks. Casey said, I was watching a live the day before Dave C unalived himself. He was being accused of all sorts. Well, okay, this is interesting. So, Katie, are you implying that his suicide was in relation to the accusations against him, because you know that's an interesting one, and it's something worthy of a of more in-depth conversation. Because as on the surface, the narrative Dave C wanted to put out was that he unalived himself because of the pain of his terminal illness. But that, so I think what Katie is implying now, or rather how I am processing what Katie's saying, is secondary to the pain of his terminal illness, is the fact that he's under a lot of pressure, being accused of a lot of stuff, i.e. being a grass. And of course, when you're in the underworld, when you are a gangster, being called a grass is a big deal. It makes being called a pedo pale into insignificance. Because I'm just guessing here, I've got no experience or involvement in the underworld gangster life at all. But I imagine if you are being called a grass and it gets out that you have been a grass, your life wouldn't be worth living. It was in Paddy Conroy's live chat. Someone doing it like he did has a lot to hide, took the secrets with him. Very interesting. Very interesting. And I'm surprised, well, maybe time has to go by, that Dave Courtney's unaliving himself hasn't been looked at in more depth. I thought people like Sean Atwood would have really taken a deep dive, you know, a bit of John Wedger and Swanson, bit of Ron Swanson, John Wedger, deep dive into Dave Courtney's unaliving himself. And you know, you've already twerked my attention by implying that the reason he gave could be actually secondary to why he really went. I mean, and so, you know, let's just look up Dave Courtney last podcast, maybe. Final words. Let's just listen to that, because I think it may be interesting. Takes our mind off, you know what I mean? Right, so we're going to listen to Dave Courtney's last words. Tweet, it's tweet or twerked. Oh, right, let's listen to Dave Courtney's last words, shall we? Very interesting.
Well, as you can all see, I am in sound mind and body. Sorry, I've took the coward's way out. Don't go racking your brains and thinking why. I will tell you exactly why. There's no woman trouble or nothing like that. I am hurting. I am disguising a lot of pain. I've got rapid rheumatoid arthritis, which is crippling me up. You know, I'm having to hide the fact that I can't get up and downstairs, get in and out of the car. And I'm not enjoying it at the moment. That's really it. And I don't want to go and waste having a wicked life like I've had. Absolutely superb. Any day I can think back on, it was funny and brilliant. And then the rest of it in pain, trying not to go and end it because it'll upset everyone else. I'm not enjoying it, and I'll do what I want. So that really is why I'm not here today. Don't be sad, please. Don't be sad. All right? I'm sure I left enough people in this world to happily stick up for Dave. You know what I mean? There's going to be the haters and all that. That's normally what happens. I'll have 1 million people now writing books. I was in the firm. I shagged Dave. Whatever. You know, you'll get loads. Yeah, you'll get them trying to diss me. They're not going to. With you can't glamorise crime law. They're not going to allow me to roll into the history books nicely. They'll try and scar me with something. Just bring the people up. That's what you see. Find the people who queue up and go, Dave crossed me up, or Dave ran away and left me, or Dave didn't do the right thing behind the prison door. Find them to make them stand up. There ain't any. If they had them, they would have used them on me to hurt me over the last 30 years. Then thing that might want to hurt me is the grass thing, and that is just something that's already been proved. And you've got to realise that I did actually take the police to court after that court case. The very next week, me and Martin Brunt, the crime correspondent for Sky, and Billy Murray went up and I nicked the police for attempted murder, saying, why did you call me a grassman? You know I won. I nicked them. So if there was any, someone should go and check all that out and find out about that. But if there's any grievances about that, look it up. You know, what I had to do to keep that friendship going with that copper, I might have it, if it, singularly on its own, if some things might look suspicious, I had to do, say, tape, sign bits of paper to keep that friendship going, and that friendship kept 100 of my friends out of prison in the time I was with him. I would do it again. He had to justify why he knew me. I introduced him to actually crime journalist Tony Thompson wrote about him in his book. You know, I get for that. You're going to get your haters. So,
yeah, it's very interesting. Like I said, I never really knew much about Dave Courtney back in the day. And to be fair, I still don't know much about him now. But that was his last video. He clearly, you know, was saying, his rapid rheumatoid arthritis was giving him so much pain. That was the reason why he unalived himself. But we also heard there at the end, he devoted half of his last final words defending himself against the grassing allegation. So, you know, I certainly don't want to be viewed as a Dave Courtney hater only because I didn't know Dave Courtney. And I think the only time I really became aware of him was after his death. Katie says, crimes were catching up with them all. He didn't want to be where he put many. Of course, right. Of course, you know. We heard Dave there himself. He was defending himself. I don't know what the circumstances were of this trial or taking the police to court or anything like that. So, new to me. But that definitely seems to be a subject worth investigating. There's Dave saying he expects lots of books to come out. A lot of people to say, you know, oh, Dave shagged me. So he appears to be a player, that's for sure. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. But perhaps that's something, you know, somebody out there would like to pick up on. Who's going to deep dive Dave Courtney? Was the pain from the rapid rheumatoid arthritis the real reason? Or, as Katie, you know, alludes in the chat, interesting final words. half of his final words was addressing the rumours that he was a grass. Is Katie onto something when she says crimes were catching up with them all? You notice I'm putting the emphasis on Katie said because it's, it's factually true. And so I'm sure Paddy Conroy has got a lot to say about it as well. But listen, that's a subject matter that I'm not particularly keen on getting involved with. But it's a subject matter that I would be interested in exploring further. Only because there's a story there to be told, isn't there? There's a story there to be told. And I think Dave Courtney at the end of that welcomed someone having a look. He welcomed people having more of a deeper dive. He wants books to be written about him. Katie says, strange Emma C doesn't call out Helen for her friendship with Dave C. Yeah, I know. But listen, I'm a great believer. Bygones be bygones. And we do know Helen had a very public and strong relationship or friendship. And it's good. People should have friendships, and people do change, in my opinion. And people should be allowed second chances. I'm all for that. But like I said, that is a story that's worth looking into again. But going back to the whole point of this live, waiting with anticipation. I think I'll take it up to the hour, and then I'll leave you all in peace. Yes, let's do a little promotional video while I just go and take a little break. This is a promotional video. And then I've actually just reminded me of something. Okay.
Step into the fire, take your place. This is your time, no time to waste. You got a story, you got a fight, you got a voice that burns so bright. No more silence, take the stage. MattTaylorTV, turn the page. No fear, no change, just truth remains. No rules, no shame, just play the game. Step into the fire, face the heat. Say it loud, don't chase defeat. Risk it all, take your shot. This is your moment, give it all you got. MattTaylorTV, set your spirit free. They may love you, they may hate, but speaking truth is worth the wait. Stand your ground, don't look back. No regrets on this one-way track. No fear, no change, just truth remains. No rules, no shame, just play the game. Step into the fire, face the heat. Say it loud, don't chase defeat. Risk it all, take your shot. This is your moment, give it all you got. MattTaylorTV, set your spirit free. They may love you, they may hate, but speaking truth is worth the wait. Stand your ground, don't look back. No regrets on this one-way track. No fear, no change, just truth remains. No rules, no shame, just play the game. Step into the fire, face the heat. Say it loud, don't chase defeat. Risk it all, take your shot. This is your moment, give it all you got.
Yes. Yes, indeed. If you want to come on as a guest, you're more than welcome to. So we're just going to check out this suggestion by Katie. 32 minutes into Dave Courtney, life of a former London gangster turned actor. 32 minutes in. Let's see what has to be said, shall we? Yeah, like I said, I'm looking for guests to come on the show. Don't be shy. Come on. You know, I better warn you, there may be a negative reaction, but listen, don't let that stop you. So let's listen. Katie says, listen to what Dave says himself. 32 minutes in. Right, let's listen to it then. Thank you for the suggestion.
Element of where he become the figurehead, yet in their minds he hasn't justified it.
In every different walk of life, there's rivalry. You know, whether you run a magazine, run a football team, promote yourself, you know, there's rivalry. You know? You have to have somebody else. It actually drives you on. It's healthy.
But this rivalry became less than healthy when Fraser repeated the accusation that Courtney was a grass.
Someone that I thought was a friend, a colleague, has come out and called me a grass, and it's shell-shocked me. It's knocked me a bit sideways. Of course, it is a little bit frightening, you know, the sort of repercussions of having that said about you and all that. And
what are the repercussions?
The repercussions could be me ending up floating down the Thames. You know, an awful lot of people will listen to the man. You know, he's quite an influential man.
Right now, it's just making me feel angry. It makes me feel sick. True, because they know the consequences. Whoever said it knows the consequences. There's not one alleged in that story.
The accusation had also offended Courtney's own bizarre criminal code.
All villains seem to fall out with each other at the end of the day.
Yeah, but never as seriously as you're a grass. That's about as serious as you could possibly say. You know, I'd rather be a fucking rapist than a grass. At least another man who gets an hard on goes, well, I can half understand that.
The fact that Dave can actually take the kids down the road for a lolly, and then they're already, their lives are in danger because some has gone. Yeah, Dave's a quite right. You know it makes me angry. It fucks me off.
And from what I hear, he's not even telling the chosen few. You know, he's actually put it in the newspaper. You know, I'm like, fucking hell. I'm laughing, but it's not funny. It's not funny.
2 weeks into the trial at the Old Bailey, and Courtney was accused of being a registered informant in open court, and everybody heard.
The Old Bailey has been told that a corrupt detective and a police informer helped in a plot to frame a woman with drugs so that she would lose a custody battle. Courtney and 3 others deny conspiracy to pervert the course of justice.
Now, if anyone puts it up now, once they've got as an informant on the telly, anyone in the world can just walk up to my door, knock on the door, and open the door, shoot me and run off, and he'd never get caught because he's now made it that the motive for it has just been on television. Anyone in the world.
Who would be bothered to have a go at you like that, though? Who would be bothered to shoot Dave Courtney? Who could be bothered?
Right. Yes, so... Woo! Crazy stuff. Well, so I'm interested to learn when that was taken. So obviously, after that, when was that? That was 4 years ago. So he survived a good 3 years. I think he unlived himself last year, didn't he? So at least he survived. At least he survived that. But yeah, thanks for sharing that. Very interesting. I think it appears that he survived being called a grass. Yeah, what do you make of that? That's like I said, this is all new to me. Yeah. Right. So we're coming up to the hour. Thank you, Katie. Dave Courtney, eh? Oh, what do you make of that? What do you make of that? There's a book there to be written. That was an old video from 4 years back. So I'm pretty. Didn't Dave Courtney unalive himself last year or the year before? Yeah. Well, there you go. I did mention being called a grass in the gangster underworld is not something to happen lightly. But it looks like, as far as I can see it, he survived it. And perhaps, you know, he did. Perhaps it was what he said it was. The pain of rapid rheumatoid arthritis. New vid on Ebenezer Greenspat channel. Okay, uncovering a dirty network of parasites. Dave Courtney. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So if you want to check that out, everyone, I'll put that on the screen. New vid on Ebenezer Greensplat even. Uncovering a dirty network of parasites. Dave Courtney, Stephen French, Bob Smith, and Chet Sander. Interesting links. Yes. So listen, we're coming up to an hour, everyone. I'm waiting with anticipation to appear on Base Loot UK's panel to address some of the absolute dross and bullshit. 1 day ago, okay. So these uncovering a dirty network of parasites is actually fresh, everyone. It was only up a day ago, so that's going to be interesting. Very interesting. Maybe something worth watching, I think. Yes, definitely. Definitely. There we go. Oh, I'm actually subscribed. I'm actually subscribed to Ebenezer Greensplat. I didn't realise I was. There you go. And so here's the link. Here's the link if anyone's interested. Don't say I don't make it easy for you. So yes, everyone, we're coming up to the hour. Thanks ever so much for Katie for joining me. Like I said, sometimes it's pretty boring. We've got no one to talk to. So thanks ever so much for joining me and having a chat. Very kind of you. So yes, waiting with anticipation. I mean, as far as for me personally, like I said, I didn't know much about Dave Courtney. If I was going to say anything, it would be rest in power, as I always say, rest in peace, rest in power. You know, I'm certainly not going to make any aspersions on his character because I never knew him. I never knew the mate. Meet the Bullies. Yes, is that another good one? Meet the Bullies. There's a lot out there. There's a lot out there to be found. There's a different story to everything. I think that's what we come to learn. But anyway, so thanks ever so much, Katie. We're hit the hour, so I'll let you all get on with it. Let's play out with a promotional video. And I'll see you all again soon. Thanks ever so much.
Got us.
story to tell, got a joke to crack, got a dream to sell, no turning back. Step into the light, take the stage. On MattTaylorTV, let's turn the page. It's your time, grab the mic, say your piece, shine so bright. But beware, there's fire ahead. Not everyone loves what's said. Step into the fire, face the heat. Speak your truth, take a seat. Laugh or fight, love or hate. Now's your chance, don't hesitate. Put your minds and the open hearts, we dig deep, we tear apart, no shy souls, no holding back. You bring the spark, I'll bring the match. It's your time, grab the mic, say your piece, shine so bright. But beware, there's fire ahead. Not everyone loves what's said. Step into the fire, face the heat. Speak your truth, take a seat. Laugh or fight, love or hate. Now's your chance, don't hesitate. It's your minds and the open hearts, we dig deep, we tear apart, no shy souls, no holding back. You bring the spark, I'll bring the match. It's your minds and the open hearts, we dig deep, we tear apart, no shy souls, no holding back. You bring the spark, I'll bring the spark, don't hesitate. Some will cheer, some will boo, but that's the price when you speak what's true. No regrets, no backing down, your voice is power, let it sound. Final challenge. Speak your truth, take a seat. Laugh or fight, love or hate. Now's your chance, don't hesitate. Step into the fire, face the heat. Speak your truth, take a seat. Laugh or fight, love or hate. Now's your chance, don't